All right, so it is your accountability call. So today's all about you and being laser focused. And once more people are on, I'm also going to share some cool updates. But I am feeling on fire today, so I'm excited to serve all of you in your businesses. So this is your chance to really think about what is the number one thing that I can help you with today, or if I could help you solve a problem today, what would that be? So take a moment, sometimes we're rushing in from other things, or some of you may be more calm, but whatever it is, just set everything else aside. This is your time to be in the abundance of the Powerhouse community, and let me help you in anything that you need help on in your business. And then as someone is asking me a question as I'm coaching them, I invite you to stay open to tuning in, because you just may hear something that can make a difference for you in your business. So, and also I love to energetically hold space for the person that I'm coaching as well, okay? I've been seeing a lot of great interactions, friendships growing, connections growing in the Facebook group page, which is so my happy place. So I'm so glad to see that. And like I said, I'll share a little bit more once several more people jump on if they do. But why don't we go ahead and dive right into at least having one person ask a question where I can coach you and help you have a breakthrough today in your business. So who has a question so far?
So I actually came prepared with a couple of questions.
I love it. Okay.
So the first one I have because I've heard you say similar things where you started your business and you felt like you were on the phone all the time. And lately that is me. And I am scrambling because I'm on the phone all the time, and then I'm scrambling to do client work. And how did you balance that so that you limited your phone calls? Because I do need to talk to my clients. I can't just not talk to them. But like, what is that happy medium?
Yeah, this is a great question. I love this question. Okay, so first of all, I got really clear with what my dream day looks like. Like I thought about if I could design the most dreamy day for me and as a business owner, and as a woman who takes care of herself and all that, because I've been up and down again. Now I'm in a really great rhythm. So one of the things that I shifted, Tracy, is my mornings are my time. My mornings are my time, meaning that's my time to exercise, nourish my body, have some quiet space, take my dog for a walk. Like I typically do not do any calls until 10:30 a.m. Okay. Yeah. Also on Mondays and Fridays, I usually don't have client calls, like one-on-one calls. And I don't do as much one-on-one. So that's the other thing that I shifted out of, is that I do much less one-on-one in order to scale the business. I want to scale it. So it just depends on the business model. So the way I structure my week is Mondays. Sometimes let me back that up. Sometimes I do a 10 a.m. call. So nothing before 10 a.m. except for when I do my 9 a.m. chat with Amy on Thursdays, or whenever I've done like a daily Facebook Live, then I do that 9 a.m. hour is for that. Mm-hmm. So from 6 a.m. till 9 a.m. is like my time. 9 to 10 is just depending on if I have Facebook Live, then I do the Facebook Live. If I don't, then I work on a priority in the day. So I remember one of my colleagues called it her MIT hour. My most important task gets done in that initial hour, so that no matter what happens in your day, that most important task is done, even if it's the stretchiest or what have you. Then from 11 o'clock, like on Mondays, from 11 o'clock to 12 o'clock, I also, since I lead a group coaching call once a month for the mastermind I'm in for Shanda Sumter, I'm on a team call for her. And then typically I have a break after that. So I stay consistent with a lunch break every day. So at least 30 minutes and some days an hour, when I used to just like eat at my desk and like rush through it, which is not the healthiest way to take care of myself, right? And then from 1 p.m. until usually about 5 p.m. is when, if I do have calls, again, typically on Monday, that's more team, connection calls, collaboration calls, and time to work on my business. And then Tuesday morning is like team calls. Wednesday morning, I'm sometimes on my mastermind calls that I'm in. Thursdays and Fridays are lighter on purpose. And then and then in the afternoon. So usually if I do have any one-on-one client time, or I've carved out time to have one-on-one conversations with anyone, it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 1 p.m. until 5 p.m.
Okay.
Okay.
So maybe I need some feedback from everyone here, because I'm in Hawaii and I'm 3 hours behind everyone. I only take clients only to the mountain time zone. So that's 4 hours behind me.
Okay.
So I have a pretty strict morning routine when I can do it, but I guess I feel guilty having clients wait for me for that 3 or 4 hours, because they've already started working 3 or 4 hours before me. Especially, so Mondays are really heavy. Mondays, I'm pretty much on the phone all freaking day. Tuesdays have started recently becoming just like Mondays. Wednesdays are a little lighter, and I usually have my afternoons are freer. And then Thursday's pretty like no calls, and I like that. And then I try to not work on Friday, or only work on my business for half a day, because it's Aloha Friday.
Yeah, let me help you on this. So how many one-on-one calls do you have on average in a given week?
On a given week, I have 2, 3, 4, about 7, but that's just clients. That's not like if I want to do a call like this, or if I have another call or a training or something like that I want to do.
Right. Okay. So here's what I would do if I were you. I would actually get like a big whiteboard. Like, this is what I did when I up leveled my schedule, because it's got to be unique to you.
Mm-hmm. Oh no,
and I would write the days of the week across the top. So Monday through Sunday, and then I would put the hours down here, and then I would put lines in it, and then I would get Post-its, right? And I would put down 7. For each Post-it, I would have client call, because you have 7 existing client calls, and I would put them where I think that would be the best time frame. I would also calendar block. So if I were in your shoes, I would do something like, okay, so the hour difference. So maybe, what if your client calls were always 10 to noon your time, or 9 to 11 your time?
Yeah.
Monday through Friday, or Monday through Thursday. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, right? So you could have 8 calls just Monday through Thursday. And then you could do your other calls. Like, first I would plug in the calls that you already have, like this call and any other like standing group call that you're in. Yeah. And then I would, so what I would do is I would put the things that are already in, like in marker, and then I would play around, like have fun with it, play around with it, and say, what do you need for me? And do I need to, start my day earlier, or know that maybe for me, my time is later in the day, so I can look at like what will work for my clients who are in different places. Also, the one thing that I had the hardest time wrapping my head around until I just decided to value myself enough is like, while I can be accommodating to them, they also need to be accommodating.
Yeah. And I did just but I did just tell somebody I can't do 6 a.m. Strategy calls on Monday morning. I just can't do it anymore.
So, and watch your language. Like, what I would say to that, I invite you to say, instead of saying can't, just say that doesn't work for me.
I like that. I can
never say can't, right? Because then the subconscious.
My husband got me out of saying that though, so now I have to get back into the practice of saying that.
In business, you can say that doesn't work for me. Here's what does.
I like that.
Because that is my time that I'm committed to myself. People respect boundaries, and if they don't, they're not your people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So alongside you, I still get to continuously practice setting boundaries, because as soon as I do, I sometimes slide. So I get to continue with that, because if I accommodate everyone's requests all the time, I will not make the difference I'm committed to making in this world.
Yeah, because like right now, I don't even want to do discovery calls or virtual chats or anything like that, because I just want to be done with the phone.
Yeah. So the other piece of that is, determine what does work for you. Like, how many hours on the phone are you okay with? And then do the Post-it thing, where it's like, okay, I know I'm okay with obviously serving my clients that I'm committed to, the 7 people that I have these calls with, or that, however many clients it is, but 7 calls. And then the other times of the day, like, what am I doing? So here's one thing that all of you get to hear is that this is, I like to credit Christian Michelson for this. He says there's 2 money-making activities: serving your clients, so fulfillment, because that's what they're paying you for, right? And finding your clients. So serving and finding, right? So if you are doing anything else outside of that, that is not a money-making, revenue-generating activity. So for those of you who like to delete things and organize things, which I love doing that stuff too, right? If after a week or a month goes by and you're like, oh my gosh, I have no clients, then look back at your activity and your effort level and just say, have I made enough offers? If I didn't make enough offers, what was in the gap? Did I have enough people to talk to? If I didn't have enough people to talk to, what was in the gap? You know, if I had this, so that you can close that gap. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. Everybody froze and I froze.
Yep.
Can you all hear me?
Yep.
We can hear you. Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you. Maybe that's me. Where did everybody go?
She'll pop back on soon, you guys.
Okay. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yay. Yes.
Yay. I'm having a funky technology day. So I'll try to join back in via video, and otherwise we get to keep going. So, okay, so Tracy, what were you saying?
You were talking about the gap.
Yeah, okay, so filling in the gap. So finding out what's in the gap for you, and then determining how many calls are you willing to do. You know, so if you are wanting to attract, like how many more clients would you like to bring on within the next month, for example?
I just want one.
One, okay, great. So you get to have as many calls as it takes for you to enroll one more person, right?
Yeah.
And then you can create your schedule so that you're not on the phone all the time. So what, aside from these 7 calls and enrolling someone to add into your clientele, what other calls do you need to be on?
Sometimes they actually have team meetings that I also need to be on as well. But most of the time I don't really say that they're a call because I can technically put myself on mute and put my video off and do other things as long as I'm somewhat present for them. But that's time consuming, and it's not where I'm really focused on one thing and getting stuff done to the, to the quality that I would like to get them done. So it's like you're half productive.
Yeah. So one thing you could do there, which is something that even Susan, I give Susan credit for this, is we have a dream team call every week. And what we recognized was that Susan did not need to be on for the whole call when we're discussing other departments' elements that are not relevant to her, And so I was so proud of her just saying, hey, would it be possible for us to cover, things around like coaching and our clients and how I can best serve them during the beginning of the call, and then may I be released? I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And I was thinking the same thing, So you could stand in your power and just, especially because you're also so great at systems, right? You could reach out to the host, the actual client, the host of the meeting, and just say, hey, I have an idea to take things to the next level. What if we structured your meeting so that, the agenda was tweaked so it looked like this, and we can cover anything to do with systems and like anything to do with you basically at the beginning. And then you can release me from the call so I can focus on doing the work for you instead of me sitting there, kind of half-ass listening in.
That's actually a great idea.
Yeah,
that's actually a great idea.
So much time. So thanks, Susan, for that.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah. And I've been on meetings like that too, where I'm like, why am I on for an entire hour or more when the part that is relevant to me is 10 minutes? Like, these are your precious life hours, Yeah.
Yeah.
Does that help?
Yeah, that does help. And I just actually recently this week implemented for some where we just have a quick email that, touches base on 3 things we want to do this week. what our main priorities are and what are our roadblocks. And hopefully
Mm-hmm.
we can keep that going, and that's, you know, sufficient for both myself and the client.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. There you go.
So, but
yeah.
yeah.
And that could be something that you assess even with each client. If you are going to be on team meetings, to say, okay, I would love to do an assessment on how you run your team meetings, because I've found that there are sometimes some fine tuning and tweaking we can do to make your team meeting more efficient.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh boy,
So
we've done that with one who had a 3 hour, don't even get me started on her meetings.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and I get it, because, you know, sometimes my meetings go long, you know, and so I'm just like, okay, how can I tighten this up, you know? So you can really make a big difference for them, and also determine, like, who all needs to actually be on this meeting, or should there be a separate meeting for people in this department, you know, which I'm sure this is me preaching to the choir. This is like your area. So to do that with all, like, as your initial assessment with your clients, do that with all of them.
Yeah, no. It's funny though, you have these clients that are really stuck on interaction, especially with being an online business. So I'm very sensitive to that, because a lot of times, you know, they feel like if you're not seeing somebody, nothing's getting done, or nobody's making any connections, or they're not really a team. And so I think I need to kind of work on where that balance is too a little bit more. Because right now, like I said, I'm very sensitive to it. So it airs on more touch points, where I think that we don't necessarily need to have all the touch points we have.
Yeah. So once again, since Susan and Olga have been with me the longest, Susan experienced that with me as well. Like, I love chatting and I love socializing and I love Susan, right? So it was easy. And she, I think, enjoys chatting with me too. So she, I can picture her nodding right now, which makes me smile. But anyway, but what happened was our calls would end up being pretty lengthy and not as efficient as they could be. And so Susan, very lovingly, as you know, someone who's also great with accountability, project management, efficiencies, getting things done by when, you know, all this stuff, she lovingly was like, Amy, I love chatting with you. And also I know that it could be easy for us to just keep chatting and then not be efficient in our, you know, in our work. And so what would you think about this? Because we're also friends, right? And so especially if you become friends with the people you work with, say, what would you think about this if we came up with a time frame for our meetings and have them be really laser focused and really focus on, you know, business. And then if we want to chat on personal stuff and friendship stuff outside of this, then we either schedule another time to chat, or in the evenings, or we actually have that be a personal call. And I'm like, that's brilliant. Yes, you know, so you can really make a difference for them to be more efficient. I mean, it's just like when any of us have ever worked for a company where we would get busted if we did too much socializing in the office. You know what I mean? And when it's your own business, I think it's easy. Like as when I started, it was easy for me to be that way too. And then as I wanted to scale my business, if I kept being that chatty on the calls, then nothing would ever get done, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So you can really empower them in that way. It'd be awesome.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. And do the Post-it thing. That'll help too.
I need to figure out where to put a big whiteboard.
Okay, sorry, now.
Uh-oh.
It's okay. I'm back. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh no, it froze again. Ah! Today is not my day in.
You sound great.
Hold on. Bear with me for a moment.
And Tracy, as she is hopping back on, one thing I would say is don't limit your clients based on their time zone. Like, you set your times when you're available to chat, and you get to be flexible with that if and when you want to. But if there's someone who lives in a different time zone and you give them your availability, I mean, there are people who want to work with you and who will be willing to stay up later, get up earlier, whatever it looks like from their time zone to get to connect with you. So allow yourself to like set those times.
Branch out. Yeah. My wish is to actually change my business model to an agency. So I figured I'd just wait until that happened before I took any other time zones. Because I did have an Eastern time zone client, and that was a nightmare for, I think, both of us.
Yeah. Yeah. And I get it with certain things that you're working on. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Okay, I'm back on my phone. I don't know what's happening with my computer. Sorry about that. Okay.
You're great now.
Tracy, are you good to go?
Yep. Thank you.
Okay,
And
awesome. You're welcome. Okay, who else has a question?
Jess does.
Yeah, Jess.
Hi. Okay. How do you figure out how to price like intensives and stuff? I get so much like random crazy feedback on my pricing in general from like all different people, and I'm just wondering, how do you go about pricing an intensive? Because like for me, I'm realizing people who want to take advantage of my intensives are doing it because they don't want to do one-on-one weekly with me. So I'm trying to value it where, okay, like they're probably not going to continue with me super long term. So where I'm valuing that my time that way, and understanding like people don't have ginormous social media budgets, but also knowing that I'm great at what I do. So not charging like the average. Does that make sense? Like I'm trying to find the right pricing balance for intensives.
Yeah. Yep, totally. So it's really about valuing yourself and your services and your time, which I'm hearing you say. And intensives, I mean, I also, if you're looking across the board, I've seen them everywhere from $1,000 upwards of $25,000 and beyond, right? So there's no real like average, and I don't like to look at averages anyway. I focus more on what value do I see in my own package, and what is out of my comfort zone and something I can wrap my head around. Because what my experiences of myself and others who are really purpose driven is that I and others tend to undervalue ourselves all the time. So it's okay to bump it up. And then you get to just the number one rule there is to enroll yourself first. Enroll yourself first. Okay. So when you hear that, Jess, what would you say is a little out of your comfort zone and something that you can wrap your head around and that you're enrolled in terms of the value?
I don't know. I know that's a bad answer, but I get hung up because I'm confused about all of my pricing. But also, so like, I have no idea how to price the half day versus the full day, because I find that people are wanting the half day. So, and then Susan was saying that it's good to price the full day like almost less than double of the half day, because you want to incentivize the full day. So I have no idea. I mean, I typically charge like $1,800 for 3 months coaching with me. And then, so I don't know what a day or a half day would be, because I also want to sell.
You said $1,800 for 3 months?
Yeah, that's about what I typically do for for a weekly coaching / like strategy. But then, I don't know. Yeah.
So
I'm very confused.
Okay, because here's the thing too, is that you just get to start somewhere, and then you get to bump it up, right? So that's what builds confidence in your rate. Okay, so what would you think about this? What if you did a half day for $1,500 and a full day for $2,500?
Do you feel like people would pay that?
That's all in your enrollment. It's all in your enrollment. So
because I'm finding like with what I do, it's so different from like a normal coach that people then have to go and implement it into their business or hire someone to implement it into their business. So I'm finding like, you know what I mean? And that's why I'm shifting my business like what I'm offering because of the feedback I'm getting from my clients that they don't have time to implement this themselves unless they have an assistant in place who I can train, who's great at this, which isn't everyone. It's working. That package is working really, really well for the people who have the assistant who's interested. But for the people who don't have it, it's like, so I'm trying to price it where, like, keeping in mind their budget for specifically social media, because it's not like I'm a business coach. You know what I mean?
Right. And at the same time, your services, your coaching does benefit them in their business, right?
Yes. Yeah, totally. I mean, a lot.
So
they really take it and run with it.
Have you, okay, and I heard you say that you're shifting things. So are you thinking about having like a social media coordinator on your team to delegate stuff to, or no?
So basically, not to take up a bunch of everybody's time, but I started offering that I take over Instagram and Facebook for certain people. So I have 7 spots available. I bumped up to 7 spots available, and I have 5 people already on board for it. So I have another 2 open. And I pitched a really big person yesterday. So I'm hoping that gap closes. And so yes, I am hiring an assistant / social media assistant who I can train on some of the smaller stuff while I free up my time to create more content and do more strategy with my one-on-one clients. So I have 2 parts of the business now that, so I'm adjusting my schedule and I'm trying to value my time. So the 1,500 and then the 2,500 sounds great. And I'm like, not that I'm not enrolled in what I teach, because I am. I'm just trying to price it to sell. You know what I mean? So I'm wondering, like, if that's a good price.
Yep, I do. And at the same time, Jess, I remember, a little over a year ago was when I had a VIP day with Shanda. And she said that she gave me a stretch challenge of selling, I believe she said 8 VIP intensives at 7,500. And my jaw dropped. I was like, you want me to what? What? You know? I'd never sold one for $3,000, you know? Like, that just seems way out of my comfort zone. And she said, okay, well then sell 2 at 5,000 and then bump it up to 7,500 for the remaining 6. Now, I will admit to you that I did not fully follow her coaching, and even 5,000 felt super stretchy. I'm like, who's going to invest $5,000 to spend a day with me? And then I went and sold 5 of them. And now I charged 7,500 for them, and I have no problem charging for it. And she said to me that the same thing, several of my colleagues had the same response when she said, sell intensives at 5,000. We were shocked and like, that's not going to happen. No one's going to buy it. And that's a mindset. Because do you think that if you got to coach someone for a full day and they took your strategies and ran with it, do you think that they would make 2,500 over, even if it was overtime, back on what they learned from you?
Yeah. I mean, more than that, probably.
Exactly. What type of, when you think about your clients, and I want everyone to be, while I can't see your beautiful faces because my technology is not on point with me, I'm inviting everybody to really lean in because there might be something relevant to all of you. Okay. So, because this is all about value and worthiness and really being able to master your enrollment conversations. And even when it feels stretchy, because this is whatever stretch that each of you are in right now, if you think you can't move through the thing that's right in front of you, you won't be given the next opportunity. Does that make sense? Like whatever's in front of you right now, whatever you're resisting, you get to go through. And that's what I love about Jess's question, is that she's willing to be coached on this and figure out how can she break through this piece so she can get to the other side. Okay. So think of it this way, right? It's about the value. You get to establish the value in the enrollment conversation so that they see it, so they're not questioning the price. They will only question the price if you're questioning your own price. They will only question you if you are questioning you. You get to stand in your power. Okay, so let me bring this back. when you think about the type of people that you serve, what type of offerings do they have? Like, just give me an example of someone that is your client and what their packages cost.
So my clients are kind of a range, but mainly they offer some type of service, like a coaching package of some sort or a strategy package. Or I have a few clients now that offer like actual products.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's a range of like, I have a vegan t-shirt company. I have a love coach, Cindy Olin. I have the guy I pitched yesterday who I'm putting into university. I'm getting him is a big fitness guy. So he sells books, fitness courses.
Let me jump in. Got it.
Okay.
So how much are these coaching packages that your coaches offer?
I have no idea.
Okay, so this would be an important thing for you to find out.
Mm-hmm.
I know for a fact that Cindy Olin, who was at Powerhouse, Florida, she's a dear friend of mine, colleague of mine, she sells premium packages,
Mm-hmm.
5,000 and up, right? What about, do you know any of the people that are selling products, what they charge?
Yeah, products range from like 30 to 150 bucks.
Okay. So here's what I would do is, for the people who have premium products that are 2,000 plus, like, first of all, that would be my sweet spot. That's who I'd go after for intensive specifically.
Okay.
And focus. Okay, this is something that Lisa Staskovich said so many times during her 3-day event that I recently attended in Florida, that people enroll for the destination, not the plane, right? If they believe, this is for all of you, if they believe that what you offer will get them there to their destination, they're like, okay, I'm in, I'll figure it out. Because they are wanting what they want. They want to go to the Maldives. They want to go to Hawaii. They want to go, you know what I mean? Like, they want the destination. They want the destination. So even if they have to invest in a plane ticket and they need to be on a plane, it's not about the plane, it's about getting them there, right? So if someone has a premium package, then you can say, well, how many sales would it take to make up for this $2,500 VIP intensive training day? And for someone like Cindy, she would say less than half of 1%, you know? Say, great. Do you think that if I taught you my signature social essence formula and you and your team implemented it, that you would at least find half of a person? And if you do, it's like getting a free education. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, I will follow through with teaching you my best stuff for you to get what you need to get the desired result. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And if you break even, it's like you got a free education. Like, if somebody goes to college and they pay a tuition of, say, $10,000 for the year, they're not promised that on the other side of it. What they're promised is the education. They're promised the education, and what people do with it is on themselves, right? So when it comes to coaching, like, I mean, especially for those of you who are coaching anyone in business or helping people to streamline things in business, the value is that you are helping them be more efficient and becoming successful through an accelerated path because of what you offer. There's high value to that.
So like pitching it like as an accelerated program almost, like in one way. Okay.
Exactly.
I can get behind that.
Get behind that. Just say, if you got to spend a day with, like, this is how I get through my mindset stuff, by the way, this is for all of you, is I think about, if someone got to spend a day with Oprah, what would they spend? What would they invest? If they got to spend a day with Tony Robbins, what would they invest?
Mm-hmm.
Then I bring it to people I personally know. If they were to invest a day with Shanda Sumter or Pete Vargas, these are names you may or may not know. If they got to spend a day with Jesse Itzler, if they got to spend, like, I think about the people I personally know that are highly influential, that have invested so much in themselves, they have so much wisdom around a certain topic, that what would that be worth to somebody? And then where in the spectrum do I see myself and what difference I get to make for people? And then I think about the education piece, and if Jess Jacobson was like representing a class at a university and somebody needed to pay tuition for a year, or even say it was a quarter, say it was summer quarter, what would that tuition be? And instead of spacing it out to be like a weekly class or twice a month class, or whatever it is, you're saying, hey, what if we knock this all out in one day? It's an accelerated training path for a day. I'm going to give you the best of what I have. Do you think you might get a result if you take what I teach you and you implement it? Because this is the types of results my other clients have had. It's worth $10,000, and I'm giving it to you for $2,500. Does that make sense? Are you there? Uh-oh, can you guys hear me still?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
I'm the one cutting out.
Okay.
My internet's not stable. But for the half day, so Susan was saying like to make it less than 1,000 more, like making it like, is that like, so I would make half day 15 and full day 2,500, or?
Yeah, so the thought process behind that, and maybe Susan, I'm not sure if we're saying the same thing, is that if they get the full day, there's more value. Like, like as far as like, you know, it's not the same as 2 half days. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's basically giving them an incentive to invest more for more, like invest more for more, but then it's giving them a break on it being.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Like it's,
yeah.
So just for $1,000 more, you get a full day. The other thing, Jess, that helped me when I was like in my mind block last year about a $5,000 VIP intensive is I added value to it so that it wasn't even for the client. I mean, I just felt like I needed to add value. So I added something like, 30 or 60 days of Voxer access to me afterwards. So if they have, it could be 30 days for you. You could say for the 30 days afterwards when you're in the implementation mode of setting up your system. So it's the other thing. These are other words you can add in to sell it, by the way, for the enrollment purposes, is that you're going to help them develop a system. And maybe you already do this, right? So that you're coming up with not only the strategy and the system, they can set up a system in their business for them to have like consistency in what they're putting out there. So it's just the coaching that keeps on giving.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Does that help?
Yes, helps so much. Thank you.
Yeah, it's all in how you lead it. I'm telling you, like when you can articulate with confidence and value what they're receiving, and this is what, here's your homework assignment, and this is for everybody who is having any doubt around a premium item, okay? Get fired up about it first on your own. Get fired up about it on your own, because once you're fired up about it, the way you show up for it, and when you tell people about it, you will not, and it's, don't ever be reactive to how someone else values you. Just take it as feedback, and you get to up-level your enrollment conversation. So I'm heading, okay, so let me give you an example. I'm heading to Powerhouse, California this weekend. We're doing it. It's a 2-day retreat. It's a shorter retreat than the Florida one. 2 days, so Sunday and Monday. I'm going to make an invitation to Powerhouse Mastermind, and it's significantly more than when all of you stepped in. Why? Because I know the value is there, and we're expanding it. We're adding more value to it, and I'm taking it to the next level. And I had no problem doing that because I so see it now. I so see it more than ever before. Where we're heading, what we're implementing, what we're creating at our masterminds, what we're creating as a community, what's going to be happening at Dream Big in October, it's all next level. So I'm bumping up the rate significantly because in order for me to keep expanding my team, how we deliver, all the things that happen in order to welcome in new people, there's a cost to that. And I know that will also mean that some people will not say yes, and I'm okay with that because I put so much free content out there in the world that if they never invest a penny with me, I'll say, study my work. I put all my best stuff out there for free. The benefit of being one of my clients is you have access to me and access to my coaches. And study my work, study my work, study my work. That's the generosity piece that I want all of you to get. And hopefully you are starting or being consistent with your Facebook Lives and how you're putting yourself out there in the world from what we talked about at the main mastermind. So Jess, can you enroll yourself and then get out there again and really stand in your power?
Yes.
I know you can. I totally know you can. And those were examples of rates. So are you enrolled with those numbers, or do we get to shift those numbers?
I'm enrolled. I think I get to hire some team, and I get to like keep working, like understanding that I question my rates based on time packages are, like taking over people's accounts, how affordable that is right now. And I also know that the reason it's priced that way is because I'm trying to get 7 people in the door, build up their accounts, and then after 6 months I'll raise my rates, kind of like how you're saying with Powerhouse.
Yeah.
Because I want case studies like on my own from my own business, not from like previous agencies that I've worked with.
Yep.
So I get to like stop comparing those things. You know what I mean? Like I'm comparing, like I already have case studies with how I show up with strategy sessions and coaching sessions of the results people have created. And so I get to stop comparing the two packages, judging, you know?
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. The other thing too is like if for any, okay, so is there any reason why you don't have your head wrapped around 1,500 and 2,500? Are you good?
I feel okay with that. I mean, I might do 2,000 and 1,500 at first, and then bump it up, like you're saying, after I sell a few.
Yep, totally. So just really like just drop in. If you need a different number to build confidence for the first one, so even if you like the lowest I would go would be 997 and 1,500, right? 997 for a half day, 1,500 for a full. After you sell that, you bump it up, right? So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay, you've got this. You can I have no doubt you can do this.
Thank you.
Okay, are you complete? You good?
Complete. Thank you, guys.
Awesome. All right, who's got another question for me?
Gustavo. Hello.
Hey, Gustavo.
Hi. All right. So I can share what I have going on, and maybe I'm asking for advice to how to proceed forward. Would that work?
Yeah. Just really as laser as like one thing I always love is as laser can be, so that we have more time coaching. Yeah. Okay.
So I'm in enrollment conversations. I have a description of my 6-month program. So already I've been in my stretch of creating something bigger than what I thought possible before we started this program. So that's really good. So I gotten really close to enrolling 2 people into the program. I don't have an enrollment yet, but I do have a description of the program. So my question with that would be, because every time what I get is when I hear you speak, it's like, it sounds to me that I have a desire to, like, how do I enroll people who have the money, the way like you were coaching Jess? It's like, yeah, there's some people out there that have that amount of money and are willing to pay for it. So if you bear with me for a second, I'm trying to clarify this as I speak, is that the objection in the enrollment that I was working on wasn't about the money. It was the challenges that came up with payment. And then after that, it was, he is prioritizing other things in his life. And that basically what the feedback was, is that he felt a lot of value in committing to this program, but it was going to take some time, a big chunk of his time for him to really get the most out of it. So that was the feedback. That's what he said. However, I'm looking at that enrollment and I'm learning from it. And I'm also looking at my goals, which is I'm wanting to enroll 5 clients. Coming up by the end of the month, I have an interview on Thursday where I'm going to be presented on Facebook Live with someone who has a network of a list of 1,800 people, maybe 10 show up, maybe 20, maybe 30, 50. I don't know how many people will show up. So those are the actions that I'm taking. More so is when I hear you speak the way you speak, it inspires me to be in alignment with people that are like you, that can see the value in deep soul work. I got countless feedback throughout the last couple of years that what I do bring people into a new course in their life. It's basically aligning to their soul calling per se, and that is the feedback that I get every time I connect with someone. They have tears, they open up, they become transparent, vulnerable. So I have all these elements. I created a program for that specifically. And so how I bridge the gap, I'm working, and what I'm learning from you is like, how do I bridge the gap of, yes, I have the elements, I know what I do, I know what I'm offering. How do I translate that into a language that will appeal to people like you? And how do I, how do I bridge the gap? So that's one question, and that ties to the enrollment, because basically the enrollment has to do with like I'm getting closer to the alignment to where I can cater to people like you, or people who really see value in deep soul work.
Yeah. Okay. So what I'm hearing you say as a question is, how do you bridge the gap with how to like word your offering to people like me? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it sounds like you have that, your program. Yes, I guess I get to study more of your program, but I still have difficulty. Yes, so that's the question, and
yeah, you're fine. Yeah,
that's the question.
Yeah. So what I would do is first of all, I would talk to people, like me, not just me, but others that embody, and this is something all of you can do, is find people that embody the characteristics of your ideal client. Like, who would you love to work with? And then ask them questions about what is it that they really want, and where are they now in relation to that, and what's really holding them back. Just like think about it as a survey or interviewing people. And Gustavo, for someone like me, like just as me as an example, you would need to find out like what, same questions, like what is it, like what's my big dream, So for some of you, you've heard my Beyond You enrollment conversation. It was, I outlined it at the end of the May Marketing Bootcamp, and I can always provide that again. But really finding out like what's my big vision, and where am I now in relation to that, and what, what effort am I putting into that?
Yeah.
And where am I? So you find out the answers to those questions, and only make an offer when you believe that what you're offering can help me get there, right? And not in a pushy, persuasive, manipulative, not that that's you, but I'm just saying this because sometimes people can, like, not on purpose, but be pushy about it. Just more so show someone like me what's possible in relation to my vision, not your offering, but my vision, and having your offering help get me there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I get that, and this is where I've been struggling, because I see it as two components, and I'm working on it where it could be inclusive. This is why I call it bridging the gap, because I have tried that in the enrollment, and it really got people into a yes, and I'm ready to sign up with the 2 enrollments. And then the thing that I am bringing forward is aligning people into their essential nature. It's basically something that is not about necessarily what they know they want, but it's something that they're here to discover, that it's actually is the opportunity that I share with you that I'm presenting. So I bring both of those elements, and I'm bridging that. I'm presenting that to people. That's what my offer is about. So I'm wanting to kind of figure out how to do that, because I get the vision and really seeing if my offer facilitates that. But in essence, when I work with people, it's touching, it touches parts of them that they weren't aware about. So basically, they're becoming aware of things that they're not aware of. You see what I'm saying? So
where are you getting? Let me ask you this, just to make sure I'm getting this right. Where are you getting stuck then in the enrollment conversation? Where are you getting stuck?
I don't feel like I'm getting stuck. I'm more so wanting to make sure that I'm in full alignment with what I offer, and I'm catering to the right people. It's like I'm in a quest to find the right ideal client, and so I don't know that yet. The enrollment, I could practice enrollment and it should work, and I'm still bridging the two pieces together. Yeah.
Okay, so you get to really be clear on. Are you clear on who your ideal client is?
Yes, and I think I don't know if you're understanding my struggle is like, I remember I shared this with you when we went to the marketing boot camp on Seattle, is that I am presenting someone with an opportunity that they're not even fully aware that they could look deeper and find things about themselves that make them feel more connected, more fulfilled, more connected to life, and more aware of who they are and what they're here to be. And so that on its own, it's like, how can I present that in a way that people, because it's not about their vision, it's about their soul calling, which it's usually unseen or unknown in some instances, because it's at the
right. Okay, yeah. I got you. Okay,
you see what I'm saying? Like, how do I bring that out into the world?
Okay, so here's the thing. So it's, even though you're like, okay, they have their vision, and then you can help them with their soul calling, you are the one who gets to bridge the gap between those two. Okay, so if somebody's saying, I want this vision, and you're like, hey, I can help you with your soul calling, they're like, but wait, I want my vision. You've got to speak their language first. You've got to use their words and their languaging first, and then show that, like, basically, so if I were in your shoes, this is what I would do. I would say, you know, hey, so-and-so, like, I would say their name, so I would just make up a name. So, hey, Dave, like, okay, so what I'm hearing you say is that you have a vision of speaking on more stages and making a bigger difference for people when it comes to health and wellness, and then find out where they're getting stuck. And they're like, yeah, the only thing is I just feel like I'm a little afraid to put myself out there in that bigger way.
Yeah.
And, you know, find out, like, what's their why behind, like, well, I want to do this because, you know, when I was able to overcome X, Y, and Z, and I got healthy and I'm more in tune with myself, you know, and yet I still find myself holding myself back from really putting myself out there, right? So lean in and listen to them. I think sometimes what can happen, Gustavo, with people like you and me, is that we know what we know in our area so intimately and deeply. We're like, we just want to shout it at the top of our lungs from the top of a mountain and say, why doesn't everybody know this yet? You know?
Yeah.
And they're just not hearing it yet. And that's why you get to speak their language. It doesn't mean they're beneath you or anything like that. It just means that they know what they know, right?
Yeah.
And then you say, well, hey, Dave, here's what I recommend for you. Because what I'm hearing you say, repeat their words. What I'm hearing you say is that you want to put yourself out there in a bigger way and make a bigger difference and speak on more stages and really put your message out there in the world about health and wellness.
Yeah.
And he'll be like, yeah, that's exactly what I want. And what I'm hearing you say is that while you've gotten to this point, there's still something blocking you inside. You're like, yeah, here's what I could recommend for you. I recommend you step into my 6-month coaching, and here's why. When you share with me that you have this beautiful vision of making a bigger difference from people, from stages and in their health and wellness and getting centered, then this program that I will take you through is all about connecting your vision in with your soul and your soul's calling, and seeing where you connect the dots through your life's journey and what you have done and what you have overcome and what has spoken to you inside, whatever your belief system is, whether it's God, universe, source, spirit, Buddha, whatever, that you are totally in full alignment, so you can release any limiting beliefs about yourself, be in your power and in your voice, and get out there and put your message out there in the world to make a bigger difference for people.
Right.
So when I share with you this overview, what do you think about, like, what comes up for you? How does that sound to you, right? So do you see how I really focused more on his vision and what he was saying to you and his languaging versus what you do?
Yeah, I get that. And you know, that's my internal conflict. So I see how that works, and I apply some of that for the client, and it got him to say, yeah, that's the piece that shifted, and it got him to say, yeah, how do we sign up? And I'll make a payment. And you know, so I see that some of these things work. And what I'm struggling with inside is I have witnessed countless visionaries and I call myself a visionary soul guide, right? It's my title. And being a visionary is not an easy task, because you're basically bringing something out in an artistic form or in a format to have people see something that brings a new perspective into their awareness. And so I do that in my own space when I work with people, and that is my conflict. So, you know, I'm totally open to your coaching, because I get what you're saying. And again, I'm bridging the gap within myself to, like, how can I honor my visionary aspect of myself? Am I going to call myself a visionary soul guide? Because in essence, that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to bring a new perspective, a visual, an idea, a sensation that people get to understand and become aware of, so that it touches them in a way that ignites their essence, their essential nature.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's just about, I mean, you can try, like I always say, when it comes to titles, I used to try on different, I like to think of those outfits, you know, like which one is not only the one I love, but which one lands with my ideal clients, right? So I avoided business coach like the play. I was like, oh, it's so boring and bland and corporate-y and whatever. Now I just like, now I don't even worry about my title, actually, you know, but at the beginning you know, so far it's been good to have that to land on for clients. So you get to think about what message or title, I should say, and title will land with your ideal clients, and know that at first it's about giving them the right languaging to empower them to make a decision to work with you. And then once they're in your world, you can do all your stuff to get them to where they want to go.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like at the core of it, I believe that I teach beyond business. I believe that I'm a love-based, deep connection person that is here to have people treat people with kindness and love and compassion, and make a bigger difference in the world, and not be afraid to be who they are. Like on a deeper level, that is the stand that I'm taking for purpose-driven entrepreneurs and beautiful souls that are on this planet for a limited number of time, right? There's such a deeper level to what I do. And how do I put myself out there? Create your clear message. Learn how to attract high-paying clients through your sales enrollment conversation. You know, like that's the hook, because that's what they're saying they want to do, because I know they also have a deeper side to them where they just want to focus on helping people.
Yes.
So to bridge the gap, I do use marketing speak to get them in the door.
Wonderful. Yes, I got it. So one last thing quickly. So what do you recommend I should do to really hone that in? Because you do offer that. That's the gift of what I see you bring.
Yeah.
So like, do I go back to any of the trainings, specific trainings? I know you posted one this weekend that is a 3-day, 3-hour intensive something. Should I just take a look at that one, or any other ones we have from the past?
Which one do you recommend? Listen to that one.
Yeah.
Yep. I would definitely listen to Create Your Clear Message.
Okay.
Yeah, and I would also schedule calls with our coach, like schedule a call with Holly if you haven't already. Like, she's great with messaging.
Okay.
I would also connect with people within the community, like connect with each other and help each other out. Just say, does this make sense to you? And you might even find that Visionary Soul Guide, if that's too like esoteric for people, then maybe you're a soul success guide. Right? Even if you cringe at that right now, if it initially brings people in the door and you get to feel it, right? I would probably cringe if I were like, oh, success, like, it sounds so corporate-y. And if it brings the right people in the door, and you're able to do the work that you want to do, because ultimately that's what you want to be focusing on, then just be open to it. And once you have a certain following, you won't even need a title. Yeah. Like, I'm getting to a point where, like, people don't say, oh, talk to business coach Amy Mata. They're just saying, just talk to Amy Mata. She's really great at words and messaging, right? She's good at words and messaging, deep connection. She's super love-based, powerhouse, right? They're using other words than a title. And I love that, because I'm like, it's not even about me and a title. It's about what I represent to them. How do I make a difference for them?
That's right.
Right? So don't get caught. Like, initially, I think it's it's good for training wheels for all of us to use a title for a while. And then ultimately, let's just be in our purpose and our message and take a stand for something, so that when people think of Gustavo Gil, like, they're just like, he's a visionary soul guide. And if you are a leader who wants to make an impact in the world and you're blocked in any way, go to Gustavo, because he's going to clear up all your shit, and you're going to get connected in with your soul, and you're going to release the blocks, and you're going to have a whole different energetic experience on this planet.
Right.
Right? Eventually. first we get to like have the training wheels on, you know, until we get people on board, and then you're feeling more stable on your bicycle, right? And then it's like, okay, now I get to release that title because it's not even about a title.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you for reminding me of that. Yeah, it's very refreshing to connect with you because I do get where you come from and your gift in it, and it's what I keep on needing to come back to. So thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Okay, so I know there's probably others that have questions. If you do, post them in the Facebook group page, and also book calls with our coaches who are here for you. And before we wrap up, I'm asking for just a few more minutes of your time. I am going to post in the Facebook group page within the next, at least by, let's say, I'll post something by tomorrow night, because we are going to launch a contest called the Make a Difference Contest. And what I'm excited about is that there are 2 incredible events coming up in the fall. I know you've all heard me talk about Dream Big. Some of you already have your tickets. And one thing that made the biggest difference for me and my growth in my business was when I played a contest for the Zone event, which is my coach, and some of you have worked with her as well, Shanda Sumter's event, the Zone event. And what I love to do is pay it forward, in that when we can all not be just caught up in our own worlds of what we're up to for ourselves and really focus out and focus on making a difference, that's when the breakthroughs happen. So whenever I feel like I have too much on my plate, you know, like my old self would like put my blinders on, get into the grind and get stuff done, right? And then I had all these breakthroughs when I played her contest, where instead of putting my head down and just focusing on my own stuff, I would look up, look around me, see who I could help, and watch the breakthroughs happen for others and for me. So the Make a Difference contest is your opportunity to, well, first of all, you can still win some great prizes, and I'm only going to be adding on to these prizes, and it's also going to help you make a difference for more people. So here's what that's going to look like, and then I will also type it out in the Facebook group page so everyone's clear on it, is that you each get to participate in my Make a Difference contest, where you get to enroll people into the Dream Big event, which is my event that I'm hosting October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in Phoenix, Arizona, as well as the Zone event, which is happening also in the Phoenix area in Arizona on September 28th, 29th, and 30th. And the reason why Shanda Sumter and I have our events back to back is on purpose. We strategically decided that we wanted to make a bigger difference in the world together, so that for people who are really ready to go and go big, they can go to both events back to back in the same city. So they could have a week of transformation and breakthrough in their business. So the way it's going to work is that if you are open to this and wanting to step in and give yourself a stretch challenge, and know that by doing this you get to make a bigger difference for people, is that I'm going to pop this information into the Facebook group page, and they're going to, initially we're going to have 2 separate links because these are 2 different events. I'm actually working with, I'm talking to Shanda to see if we can create one link, and I will get back to you on that. There's just some technology elements to it if we do that. Once we get things all up and running technology-wise, there'll be one link that is for the Zone event, and it's important that you use the specific link I popped in there, okay? So it's my own affiliate special link. And then the other link will be for Dream Big, and we are still working on the elements of the actual webpage, so I'll provide more details on that soon. And for each one of these, so if you enroll someone to come to either one of these, you get a point for each one. And then I will post the dates of when the deadline of the contest will be. And for the person who has the most points at the end of the contest will receive either 1 month of VIP coaching with me. So that means you're going to have like more access to me than anyone. Or you can choose a half VIP day option, which I now sell for $4,000. So in that half VIP day, we can really crank out a lot in your business. And we can even do a prep call ahead of time to say, okay, what are some things that you really want to handle and overcome in your business? And we're going to spend half a day together getting it done. For anyone who enrolls 5 people to come, you will receive a VIP ticket. So we'll figure out all the logistics and details as we move forward, and I will likely be adding even more prizes to this. Now, the key thing is that while the prizes can be really great and valuable, the thing that I am wanting to take a stand for alongside all of you is that above everything, we get to make a difference. And that's why I'm calling it the Make a Difference contest. Because with these events where we bring together purpose-driven entrepreneurs, we will make a bigger difference together, and we'll be taking a stand not just for ourselves and our own messages and our own mission, we'll be taking a stand for other purpose-driven people, that when we stand shoulder to shoulder, we will really make that ripple effect in the world. So I hope you're as excited as I am. I know we can rock it out together, and we're gonna have so much fun together. For those of you who are coming to the Zone event, I'm excited to be there with you. And for those of you, I hope everybody's coming to Dream Big, because this is going to be an epic experience in Phoenix, October 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Okay? Does anyone have any questions?
I have a quick question. This is Yvette, by the way. I know you can't see.
Yeah.
Are you going to have, are you booking rooms at the same hotel as for the Zone event?
No. So the Zone event is at the Biltmore. And there, I know that right now there are, when you purchase a ticket to the Zone event, there's a link for a discounted hotel room as well. And then my event, okay, this is not to be announced anywhere because it's in contract right now, like it's not finalized. And I believe it'll be finalized by Friday, is that I will have the hotel that's the Hilton Phoenix Mesa. It'll be actually closer to the airport. So for those of you traveling, it'll be even easier. It's about 13 minutes from the airport. So they're not far from each other, but they're not right next door either. And it's not the same hotel.
Okay.
So you will be going from one hotel to the other. And I've got my event production team has worked hard to get a really great rate for the hotel room at the Hilton Phoenix Mesa.
Okay, thank you.
So as soon as I have that link available for all of you, then I will be sharing that with you. Okay.
Okay.
Any other questions before we wrap up?
Amy, it's Barb.
Are we excited? What?
It's Barb. Has the sign up been open? I'm sorry, I've been a little out of touch, but is there a link or something to sign up for Dream Big?
No, not technically. I did host the 3-hour workshop last week where I offered a bundled package. That was for $197, and they received the Master Marketing course and 2 VIP tickets. Now, I know a couple of you, whether you're on live right now or watching the replay, purchased that. And that actually was a really good deal because you're getting 2 VIP tickets, so you get to also bring someone. I will have links for each of you to also purchase your own tickets. So let me back up. Well, I'll be posting all the details on this, so there might be a little bit of confusion. I know there's a lot of details that I'm covering here. So once we have the hotel link available, which we don't have yet, it might be a couple of weeks. So just hang tight with me while we're getting everything finalized. If you book a hotel room under your name, then you will get a free ticket, like a standard ticket to the event, okay? If you don't book a hotel room under your name, let's say you stay somewhere else or you room with someone, there will be a special link for a $97 ticket where when you check in, you'll receive a check for $97. So it's like you're getting a really special, essentially free ticket, but that confirms your reservation, holds your spot. Then for anyone who wants to upgrade to VIP, there is an upgrade of $189. So that's like a straight, to cover hard costs and whatnot. So that's $189. So if you want VIP, that's what you invest in. Or you invite 5 people and you get your free VIP ticket. Does that make sense? Everybody with me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, so I will post all this, like some of this I know is like, whoa, there's so many details. Don't worry, I'm going to be posting as the things are all confirmed. I just wanted my community, all of you, to know first, even while behind the scenes we're still finalizing some things, so that you can already be planning ahead for what's about to go down in Phoenix, Arizona in October and at the end of September. It's going to be epic. It's going to be so much fun. So I will keep you posted. My team and I will be posting within the Facebook group page. So you'll have everything that you need to get things going. And then as far as the Make a Difference contest goes, I will post at least a starting post on this so you can get started with the contest. And it may very well be that we start off by only having the Zone link. That's the link I have already. And then we may be adding the dream big. So just play along with me, be in that flexible mindset and trust the process. It's going to be super fun. And there's a lot of breakthroughs that can happen when you get in the spirit of making a difference for other entrepreneurs as well. Okay. Okay, everyone, I know we've gone over, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. If you have other questions, post it in the Facebook group page. Book calls with the coaches. They are standing by waiting for you to reach out so you can get help in the areas of business you need help in. And then just know that I am traveling tomorrow through the 30th, so I'll still be popping in to the Facebook group page. I'm attending my mastermind on Thursday and Friday, hosting Powerhouse California Sunday and Monday, and then for a few days, I'm playing with Ken and the kids in San Diego, like SeaWorld and San Diego Zoo, like going to the beach, like we're having a few flex days of vacation. So I'll still be popping in here and there. It might just take a little longer for me to get back because I'm committed to being present with where I am. So, all right, everyone, sending you lots of love. Have a great rest of your day and a week, and rock out your businesses. And we'll talk soon.
Thanks, Amy. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Okay, bye.
Bye, everyone.